Wuthering Waves has got to stop releasing new stuff when I'm not awake, because while I was having a nice, cozy, and peaceful sleep, they decided to drop yet another Lahai Roi teaser at 3 a.m. So imagine a very dazed Rini waking up, seeing Pink Girl on her phone, leaping out of bed and frantically analyzing the teaser. Now, whether it's just me still trying to wake up, I came up with 3 theories on who this mysterious Pink Girl could be. So let's dive into it, shall we? Theory 1. Pink Girl is the Sentinel resonator. Now, hold your horses. Hey, don't even think about it. Before any of you say, but Rini, we already know that Lahai Roi doesn't have a Sentinel. Well, what if Lahai Roi did have a Sentinel, but the Sentinel no longer exists? If that's the case, what happened to it? Well, there is a group of people in Lahai Roi named the Roi tribe. The Roi tribe are the indigenous people of the region, and by using a calendar they created by observing the exostrider reactor drive, they are able to study and influence the exoswarm, which is potentially something that is caused by the exostrider itself. Probably some sort of invasive species. During the first teaser of Lahai Roi, we actually get to see this exostrider, and it is specifically referred to as the slumbering exostrider. But what if there was once a huge threat to the people of Lahai Roi, more specifically the Roi tribe, and in order to save its people, the Sentinel had died protecting them and placed the exostrider into a deep slumber? Whether the threat was the exostrider itself or the exostrider was actually an ally to the Sentinel, it may have been placed into this deep slumber because of the Sentinel itself, leaving the Roi tribe to closely observe it. And because the Roi tribe are indigenous to the land, they are the only ones who knew of the Sentinel's existence. Think of it kind of like the Visalia family knowing the truth about Imperator. It is a secret that is meant to be kept until the right time arises. But where does Pink Girl come into this? Well, if Pink Girl was once the Sentinel's resonator, but because the Sentinel died leaving her behind, she is simply slowly fading out of existence. Which is why throughout the trailer, no one seems to notice her, like she's invisible to them. She also doesn't appear to have any shadows. Which is why, throughout the trailer, she appears all glitchy, almost as though she is being rejected from reality itself, because she's not meant to be there. And maybe it's because the current civilization of Lahai Roi do not know that they once had a Sentinel, and her existence is tied to the Sentinel. Or simply just because the Sentinel no longer exists, so she shouldn't either. With the only ones who know the truth being the Roi tribe and, of course, Rover, the Lord Arbiter. Speaking of pre-mind wipe Rover, it is safe to say that the last version of Rover had definitely got up to quite a lot, and was even a student at Star Torch Academy. And with the final arc of the Renaissance questline, Grand Architect Schwarzlock very ominously states, "We were once your waystones." But also, both Frolova and Scott allude to the Rover once being allies with the Faxidus. So my theory is that Pink Girl may just simply be an artificial being, just like the Shorekeeper. Throughout the teaser, Pink Girl glitches constantly, suggesting that her frequency is unstable. So unstable that no one can see her. But what if she was created by Rover pre-mind wipe? What if Pink Girl is merely a result of an experiment, in hopes of creating an artificial resonator made for an artificial Sentinel that just doesn't exist yet? Which is why her frequency is so unstable to the point that no one can see her but Rover, because Rover created her. And maybe she's just part of an unfinished project that current Rover will have to finish in order to combat the Faxidus' plans of attempting to create an artificial Thermodian resonator, which actually wouldn't be the craziest thing considering that this is basically what Schwarzlock alludes to as being the next step in the Faxidus' infinite plans. After achieving their goals in both Jinzo and Minnesota, the Faxidus now have their desired knowledge and means to potentially produce an artificial Thermodian, which then means potentially an artificial Thermodian resonator, which then means a need for an artificial Sentinel, which then means, well, you get the point. The last theory is probably my most unhinged one, but I'm going to say it anyway. So we know according to Shorekeeper that Lahai Roi has no Sentinel to guide them, but what if this is because the Sentinel gave up its Sentinel body and power to save its people, leaving its core behind as a guiding light, which is now the son of Lahai Roi, and as a result manifested into a human-like body of Pink Girl, who now serves as an unseen guardian of the region, kind of like a reverse Namipon situation. But also, her design clearly hints at her being of high importance. I mean, her eyes literally glow like the sun, and her headpiece has one big star, aka a sun, in the middle of it, with the biggest detail in her design being the gigantic heart in the middle of her chest, which also appears to be where her tacit mark is. I tried really hard to check how many stars she has in her tacit mark, but alas, my poor eyesight has failed me. To me, it looks like 5, but to some other players, it looks like 6. So let me know in the comments what you think. Regardless, this is the first time we've seen a tacit mark that looks like this. So what if this heart represents the heart of the Sentinel, potentially housing its frequency, which allows it to live within its new body? When Mornai activates the reactor drive in the sky, Pink Girl appears to react overly positive to it, almost as though it re-energizes her, but also maybe playing a hand in anchoring her existence to Lahai Roi itself. But if she is anchored to Lahai Roi and is what remains left of the Sentinel, she may be part of the reason why the people of Lahai Roi are protected by the Void Storm, which may mean if the reactor drive is destroyed, Lahai Roi will find itself in the midst of yet another massive threat to their existence. And if that happens, who will save them this time? And with that being said, that is all I have left in me for today. Please feel free to let me know in the comments your personal thoughts and theories on what we discussed, and as always, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye!